All right. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you. First of all, I have to say I love your plushies. Like
My goodness.
they're awesome.
Thanks. We're in my gaming room right now, so there's a lot of different gaming memorabilia scattered everywhere. It's a bit of a mess, but
Oh,
thanks. Just
lovely.
outing myself a bit.
I know it's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
So, the first thing I want to start asking you is, I see you move from the UK to California, and how was that move like? Was it how long did it take for you to get used to living in California from coming from the UK?
I would say it took a good few years, and in some ways, I'm still getting used to it. There's a lot I miss about home, honestly. But I would say the first few years were pretty tough. I was only 14, and so I think growing up as a teenager in that sort of environment presents its own set of challenges, apart from just the change of, well, country, just going
Yeah.
from, regular country girl school life to LA, music, recording studios. It's just a big lifestyle shift. So I would say in many ways I'm still getting used to it.
Okay. And when you were growing up, like, what artists or bands did you love listening to?
Oh, well, when I was growing up, my all-time favorite was Queen. Freddie
Oh
Mercury
yeah.
is an idol of mine. I actually named my cat after him because I love him so much.
Nice.
So definitely Queen. I like to say I got some of the greats from both of my parents because my dad showed me Queen and the Beatles, and my mom would show me Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion, ABBA, like all these incredible vocalists. So I was really blessed to listen to a lot of amazing artists growing up.
Wow, that's some really good artists right there. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents have good taste. Shout out
I
to them.
I see that. So what inspired you? Like, what drew you to want to start making music and writing your own songs and stuff?
Yeah, so I've always known I wanted to be in music. In some regard, I've always been singing. When I was around 10, I wrote my first musical. And so I think at that time, I thought I would go into
Wow.
musical theatre. But I had so much fun just writing my own stuff. It wasn't until I got into a recording studio a couple years afterwards that I sort of felt like, ooh, okay, I still want to sing, but maybe I actually want to make music for just me now, as opposed to just like being an actress in a musical theatre production, which would still be cool and is still on my bucket list. But I think that moment when I was probably like 13 is when my priorities flipped into, oh, okay, wait, I think I actually like this more now.
Nice. And what was the first song you wrote and made for everybody to hear?
One of the first songs I ever wrote was actually called Blood-Filled Tears, which is a very special song to me. I started writing it when I was probably 14 or 13. And I remember it was like 5 minutes long. It was really long and it was very
Oh, wow.
depressing. And I thought, this is not good. Like, this is too sad. We can't do anything with it. So I let it sit there until a few years later. I got in with some lovely co-writers and I ended up showing them the song and we all worked on it together and rewrote it and made it slightly shorter, not quite as miserable. And Blood-Filled Tears was born. But I think that probably counts as the first song I released because although it wasn't technically my first release, it was the first song I wrote. I was very young when I started writing that.
Oh, wow. Okay. And like one of your other songs, the Beast Within, I see that's based on Avatar, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I learned Na'vi when I was 10 years old, which was a great reason to be bullied. Everyone hated that I knew this language in high school, so it was not a hit then,
Oh,
which is why it's so fun that so many people have enjoyed it now, because I'm like, oh, cool. Like 10-year-old me was getting ripped to shreds for speaking like this. So I'm glad now people like it and have fun with it. Because yeah, I always just thought, wouldn't it be fun to sing in Na'vi since I know it anyway, like why not? So I'm glad that it resonates
nice.
with people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean that would definitely be a a big hit if you sang it at Comic Cons and stuff. Then
Oh, that
because
would be a dream.
that would be like a huge hit there.
That would be so cool. I would love that.
Oh yeah. And I see like another song you did is called the dissidence this distance, and you provide Japanese lyrics, is it? Like did you do Japanese lyrics for the song?
I didn't write the lyrics because I'm not fluent in
Hmm.
Japanese, sadly. I wish I was. But I did sing in it. I worked with someone who was working with Arnley, the other artist on that track. And sorry, that's my computer.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy that was working with Arnley, and he came in with the lyrics, but he walked me through them and made sure I wasn't butchering pronunciation because I really was excited to sing in Japanese. But I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure I do it well. Like, I don't want everyone to listen to that and be like, okay, well, we can tell that's just a girl who doesn't actually speak Japanese. She sounds terrible. So I worked really hard on making sure that it sounded like I could speak it, which ended up working funnily enough because we performed it one time in Japan and everyone assumed I could speak it. So they were talking to me in Japanese and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't actually speak it. And they were like,
Oh my God, that must have been funny.
oh, funny. On the back, really, I was convincing enough, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, they see you on stage singing this song in Japanese, and they're like, "Oh wow, she definitely knows how to talk. We're gonna go up and try to have a conversation now."
I'm like, sorry, hate to break it to you.
Nice. And how does it feel to have like you have like a big smash hit over 20 million streams, your song Storm?
Yeah, it's really cool. And like as I said, I think it's really nice that something I was honestly like really heavily picked on as a child for is being celebrated now later in my life. I think that's really exciting, like a full circle, if you will. I really love that it means so much to people because it's very much a representation of me, as you can see by my background. I like video games, I like nerdy stuff. I am the sort of person that would learn an alien language at the age of 10. I did. So it's really nice. It's really refreshing. There's so many other people that like the same things I do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many fans now that love this kind of stuff, like love anime, love video games, comic books. I mean, it's bigger now than it ever was. Like, if you ever went to these Comic Cons, like you would see the droves of people to go to these things.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I'm sad I couldn't go this year, but I love Comic-Con and all those conventions. So
Yeah.
fun.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. I love it. I try to go to as many as possible. Like they're amazing.
That's so much fun. I used to dress up all the time too, so maybe
Oh,
next year.
really?
I was super into cosplay.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Who?
feel like it makes sense because I sort of like to dress up as a bit of a fairy butterfly
Yeah.
princess on stage. So I think it makes sense that I have a love of costumes. I think that tracks.
Okay, there you go. Who who were some of the superheroes that you cosplayed as?
So I mainly did video game characters. I did have you there's this character called Mercy from a game called Overwatch.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she had like a Halloween skin that came out where she was like a witch, and I did a cosplay of that. I did Catwoman once. I did Poison Ivy for my birthday a couple years ago. I did an Asari from Mass Effect, which is like a blue alien girl. I like fully painted myself blue and had a latex headpiece put on. It was a whole thing. I take it very seriously.
I could definitely see the Poison Ivy thing going. Like you got the hair and
Right?
everything. Like I could definitely see that.
Yeah, it was a good one. I need to do it
And,
again. I didn't really get any pictures in it, unfortunately.
yeah,
Do
definitely.
it again.
And like your two newest songs, like what inspired you to write the Technicolor Honeymoon and Sunlight?
Yeah, so both of those songs were written about a new relationship that I had found myself in, and they were very genuine records. I just wrote them because I was falling in love with someone, and that hadn't happened to me in many years, not properly at least. And that feeling was so overwhelming and exciting. It wasn't even like it was a choice to write the records. It just sort of felt like I had to do it because I had so many feelings and I just needed to get them out. So I never really made a conscious choice to write either of those. It was just true to what I was feeling at the time and falling in love with someone. And I think that's what I like most about those records. They weren't trying to be anything. They were just how I was feeling.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I mean, whatever you were feeling worked because I see like Sunlight has over like 500,000 views on YouTube and streams. Like you have like over 22,000 streams, and Honeymoon was the it was not was number one on the pop charts, number five on the YouTube charts. So when you put so much hard work into writing and making songs, and you see these songs doing so well, like streaming, views, charts, like how does that feel?
Oh, well, it was amazing. I mean, I never thought I'd see myself charting on iTunes ever. So, and it was really funny because when it actually happened, because it happened in the US and my phone is a UK phone, so I couldn't actually see it. I had to like take all my friends' phones and look at their home pages to see that, oh, they're telling the truth. I am right there. I'm right. I'm five. I'm number five right there. It was so cool. It's so silly that I could see it myself. I'd have to like Google it and I'd be like, what are the charting iTunes songs right now? And then I'd see my name because I just couldn't believe it was me. I still can't really believe it's me. You know, it was just so mind-blowing. I woke up. I remember exactly where I was. We'd gone away to celebrate. I think it was my mom's, no, it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day. And my mom and I had gone away to a hotel for a weekend. So we were at a hotel and I wake up and I have all these missed calls and texts and I'm thinking, oh God, what is wrong? Like, oh, for some reason I see a lot of missed calls. My first thought is something is wrong. So I was like,
Well, yeah.
no. And then I open them and everyone's going, did you see? Did you see it? I'm like, did you see what? What's happened to me? And then I finally found it out and I was like, oh, it wasn't bad. It was the opposite. Oh, it was really
Yeah.
good. So yeah, just mind-boggling, mind-boggling. I still can't comprehend it, but I mean, wow, what an honor just to see your name on the little iTunes page. And I never thought I'd get that sort of achievement. So much love to my team and to all the fans who listened to it and made that happen. Like I can take no credit for that. Like they made it happen. So just so grateful.
Yeah, definitely. Like you're definitely killing it on the charts and streaming and everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
And like you have a new album out. Well, I mean, it's not called an album, right? It's EP. Yeah. So how do you get into a mind frame to write like a whole bunch of songs for it?
Yeah. So I think what was really interesting about this EP in particular, and this sort of goes back to what I was saying earlier, is that I didn't necessarily have the intention of making an EP.
Hmm.
I was just feeling really intense, happy feelings for once. And I thought, I need to document this. I need to fully embrace it and go full force at it. And I wrote all these songs, and I was originally planning to just keep them private to me and the person the songs were about. And then I remember once I wrote Technicolor Honeymoon, I was like, oh, this is a good song. Like, I can't keep it private. I have to release it. And so at that point, I'd already had all the songs written. So it was just a matter of calling it an EP, really. I'd just written so much that summer, like boom, 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 one after another. And we had an entire EP just sitting there. So it wasn't an intentional choice, which sometimes it very much is. But this one, it actually wasn't. It wasn't ever actually supposed to see the light of day. So
wow, okay.
yeah, it was just supposed to be like a private, intimate thing. And then it reached a point where I was like, oh, but the music's good. Like, I should do something with it for real. So
well, all of your fans are happy you decided to put it out and not just make it private, because it's like I said, it's doing well.
yeah, I mean, I'm happy too. Just seeing everyone's responses to it has been lovely. And people always tell me how it makes them think of their loved ones or their wife or their kids. It's so lovely. It's made it all worth it.
Nice. And you're about to be coming up, like soon you're going on this huge tour with Tori Kelly, I believe it is, right? And what's it like getting ready to go on a huge tour, like all over the place?
Yeah, it's a lot of work and a lot of exercise. My PE teachers would be very impressed with me right now because I was very bad at PE as a kid, and I'm doing lots of exercise now. So I'm sure they'd love to see me. I go to the gym a lot, do like strength training, because what I learned last year is just having a stronger body really helps. Even if it's
Okay.
only 20 minutes a night, just with the amount of choreography there is, like you need to be strong for it. You have to just train. So I've been going to the gym pretty consistently. I do choreo where we do like 3 hours where we run the set. I do vocal lessons so I can strengthen my voice. In my spare time, I try not to eat as many spicy foods as I would perhaps normally like because it's not good for the throat and I'm trying to be healthy. So it's very diligent. You have to be disciplined, definitely.
Oh, wow. There's a lot that goes into touring.
Yeah, yeah, there is a lot. There's a lot.
Oh my God. Well, I saw like one of the dates on the big tour is actually in Philly, where I live at Philadelphia. So I definitely should come and check out the show.
Yeah, I'd love for you to come. You definitely should.
Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah. And
Awesome.
and what do you love what do you love most about playing live?
I think I really like getting to just connect with the people that are there. I think that was what made it the most fun for me last year. I was really frightened and in my head about if people would think I sounded good enough or looked pretty enough or if I danced well enough, all these things. And then just getting out there and seeing people enjoy the music, seeing people sing along to your songs back to you. I mean, there's nothing like it. It eradicated all of my doubts and fears I had had up until that point. And from that point on, it was like the best month of my life. I just had so much fun meeting people that liked what I did and getting to learn about them. And, you know, with the streaming era, so much of it can be done remotely. It's always such a delight to get to actually go and meet the people that listen. Because I just feel like a random person in my room, you know, like I don't feel like I have any real significance. But whenever I tour, it's like getting to meet the people that say, "Oh, your music means a lot to me," or "Oh, this lyric really resonated with me." And it's huge having that. It's the best thing in the world. Just seeing people that like what you do and connecting with them and connecting with music lovers. It's the best part.
Nice. Is there any funny road story while you're touring? Like, did anything funny happen like that stands out to you?
Well, I definitely remember I got laughed at a lot because as I mentioned earlier, I really love spicy food. And so I'd always have a jar of pickled jalapenos in our tour bus fridge. And it would be like my after tour snack, like after show snack, if you will, because I couldn't do it before the show because I don't want to impact my voice. But once it was done and we did the meet and greets, I would just go into the bus, pop open that jar, get a fork, and I would eat that pickled jalapenos just on their own. That's like my favorite snack. And I shouldn't have it because it's bad for your throat, but it's so good. So everyone would laugh because they'd just see me come in the bus every day and I'd be like getting out the jar and they'd be like, oh, there she goes with the jalapenos again. All right.
Oh wow. And I see you also love to draw and paint too. What had what what's your what's your best thing that you ever painted or drew, like your best photo or
Ooh, but that's tough. I don't know that I'm necessarily, I do like to draw and I do like to paint. I'm not the best in the world. I sort of just improvise and hope for the best. But
oh,
I
all
would
right.
say,
Okay.
we just try our best. Art is supposed to be fun. But I will say I've been making this like gallery wall in my apartment of Studio Ghibli style drawings, but it's me and my partner. And so I recreate the scene, but I customize it so the girl always has, the red hair that I have, and I like
Yeah.
change little details. And I'm really proud of that gallery wall as an art piece in general. So maybe that.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And now something you love, video games. So what are some of your all-time favorite video games?
Ooh, great question. I think my go-to answers for this question are always Skyrim and Borderlands 2, because those two
Like,
games shaped my personality for many years of my life. I adore them. I also really love like Mass Effect, anything with Portal 2, anything with a really strong storyline is what I really enjoy. Like gameplay is fun and it should be fun, but the priority for me, which I think is the same with music, is just the story. And I think that video games are such an underrated medium for storytelling. And I think sometimes their stories are better than film and television.
it is, yeah.
So yeah, I really like to prioritize anything fantasy, a little open world with a heavy storyline is my bread and butter.
All right. What about Twitch? Do you have a Twitch? Like, do you play games for like fans to watch?
I do. I'm not very good, and I'm also not very consistent. So I'm sure anyone watching this that watches my Twitch streams is probably like, yeah, Maisie, okay. I show up and I say, sorry for being inconsistent, guys. This time is going to be the time. I'm going to commit to 3 times a week. And I do that for a little bit, and then I drop off the face of the earth for months. It's like a routine. My Twitch family is so used to it at this point. They know the game. They're like, yeah, yeah, sure, Maisie, sure you will. Sure, this will be the time that's different. But I love streaming. I want to do it more. It's just, I'm so busy with rehearsing for tour right now. It's just taking up my life. But I do love Twitch streaming and definitely want to do more of it.
Okay. Now, do you bring like the video game systems on your like tour bus and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm definitely planning to bring my Switch. I brought my Switch last year. My main gaming setup is like a big PC. It's what I'm actually filming on right now. I have like a big
Okay.
gaming PC, and there's no way we can cram that into a bus. I considered originally maybe bringing my PS5, but I just think based on what I saw last year, I don't know where it would go. I don't know that there's a lot of room for it, but I like that the Switch is so portable. I think that makes it easy. So I'll just download my favorite games on the Switch and bring that along. It'll be fine.
Okay, there you go. And you like to read too. Is there a book that you're currently reading?
Yeah, oh my gosh, what am I reading right now? I just finished, okay, let me see if I can find the name of the author because I actually really enjoyed this book. I just finished it a couple days ago. It's called Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I'm probably butchering his last name. I'm very sorry, Jason. But I just finished that a few days ago and I lent it to my mom because I enjoyed it so much. It's a great
Oh,
book.
wow.
Yeah.
And what about are you a fan of anime too? Like, do you watch like cartoons and anime and
Oh, absolutely. I was so in love with L from Death Note when I was a teenager. I wanted him to be my
that's my
boyfriend
favorite
so bad.
anime.
Dude, Death Note is
Yes, that's
so
my
good.
favorite
It's so
anime.
good. And I loved L. I had a necklace with his like the L in his style. I was so into him. Like it's embarrassing. I don't even know why. I was like, I want him to love me. So I love anime. One of my best mates is showing me My Hero Academia right now, which I've never
Yes,
seen.
yes,
So I've been watching that lately. I love Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan,
yes.
Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter. Yeah,
Oh,
love
wow.
a good anime.
Nice, nice. So who's your favorite superhero and villain of all time?
Oh, ooh, okay. Ooh, that is a fun question. Who is favorite superhero? That's a tough one. There's a lot of them. I
I
do.
know it is, yeah.
I love. I love like the DC villain girls. Like I feel like Harley, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. There's like no better trio than those. Like they are, all three of them are
Definitely, I
so
agree.
iconic and so fleshed out. I don't know if I could pick between just one, but I think in general, just the way like the Gotham universe does their like female villains is
Mhm.
marvelous. So one of those for sure for favorite villain. I mean, I just adore them. Superhero wise, ooh, I'm gonna have to say Spider-Man because my boyfriend worked on the Spider-Man 2 game that just came out and it was very
Oh,
good. So I'm
wow,
gonna say
okay.
Spider-Man. Yeah. I 100%
Nice.
I platinumed Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, like all of them on my PlayStation. 100%. I like grinded. So purely for that, I feel like it has to be Spider-Man. Never have I
Well, yeah,
ever
of
so
course.
much time of my life to another superhero.
Nice. And I'm a big horror fan, so I always ask my guests this. Are there any horror films that you love to watch?
I bloody love horror. I
Oh my God,
love
really?
horror. I'm such a horror girl. Yeah, I go to
Oh,
Halloween Horror Night
yo.
every year religiously. Love a horror film.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know if I could pick just one favorite. I always say that I love Silence of the Lambs as like a psychological horror. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a really good one. I, what else do I like? Okay, this one's silly. This one's really silly because it's not a good horror film. I just like it for nostalgic reasons, but I have a personal affinity for Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, Jason.
Yeah, which I know is not like the best horror movie of all time, but it has a lot of cute memories for me surrounding the first time I ever watched it. And so I have a bunch of Jason Voorhees merch. I love the summer camp vibe. Like I love a summer camp horror. I just read a book about a
Definitely.
summer camp horror, actually. It's called The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. Shout out.
Oh,
That's
wow,
why I
very
picked
nice.
it because I saw the summer camp thing and I thought, oh, it's like Friday the 13th. I love horror though. Oh my God, yeah, love it.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I'm a huge horror fan, and Halloween season is my favorite time of the year. I love going to like all those different haunted houses and hay rides and all that stuff.
Me too, which is why I'm actually slightly gutted that I'm on tour during the month of October, only because it's my favorite month of the year and I love all the Halloween festivities. I'll just have to make up my own on tour, you know? I'll do my own haunted house. It'll be like a haunted tour bus.
Yes, you should definitely do that.
I won't tell anyone else I'm doing it, so I'll just be frightened. They'll be like, oh my God, who got murdered on the bus? Like, surprise!
You know when your team is coming on the bus, you hide in the corner and jump out at them like a haunted house.
That's funny.
And is there anything coming up that you would like to talk about or plug, like a a new song or anything? Like, I mean, I know you're going on tour.
Yeah, so I actually have a lot more music coming out this year. I have a collaboration coming out very soon. I don't think I can say what it is necessarily, but it's coming out very soon. I'm very excited for that. And what else I can say is that Wonderlust The Dawn, my EP, has a continuation, if you will. There is a part two, and that is also coming this year. And that's all I'm going to say on it. But there's a part two to that project. A continuation of Wonderlust is coming, and I'm excited.
Nice. And the last question I'll ask you is, where can fans follow you and keep up with your touring, music, and video games?
I'm super easy. I'm Maisy Kay on pretty much everything. MAISYKAY.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and doing this. It was really nice meeting you and chatting. Like, you're awesome. Horror, video games, music, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we'll have to chat horror movies in Philly when you come see the show.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll definitely have a great is it daytime, nighttime, or you're that it's
Yeah,
daytime. Okay,
I'll
we'll
say thanks.
definitely
Yeah.
have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.